What if I told you that one PPC or Facebook ad lead can turn into a $30,000 deal and that you can close 1 out of 10 to 12 leads into a contract? In this masterclass, we're going to show you how we have managed over $50 million in ad spend in the last 4 years, and we've been masters of the advertising game for the last 15 years. Now you're gonna learn how you're gonna become that as well. You're gonna learn how you're gonna generate leads and how you're going to actually leverage all of this for your business to grow. In this episode, we're gonna break down the clicks to contract process so you don't miss anything. And we're not holding anything back. As a matter of fact, we're gonna teach you step by step how the high-level funnel, whenever a lead comes in and sees your ad, clicks on the ad all the way to the closing table. We're gonna show you everything. If you ever wonder how the big players actually make a bank with cold advertising or even advertising in general, how they leverage the best type of lead generation, well, you don't want to miss out on this because we're gonna cover everything. Stay tuned and let's get this started.
They run probably one of the largest marketing companies inside of the wholesaling real estate investing industry. They do PPC, they do Facebook, they do a little bit of everything. And a lot of our advanced group students are getting insane results with them. Like 1 out of 10, 1 out of 12 leads to contract, lead to deal, even on the Facebook side, which is really hard to do on Facebook. So I brought them on today to show you guys a little bit about Facebook, a little bit about PPC, the different types of marketing strategies, and how to know which one is going to work for you. So Esteban, Taylor, you guys can introduce yourself a little bit better than I did, but you guys kick it off.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you guys want us to share the screen and go into the deck right away, because it has a little bit of introduction about us?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, perfect. So guys, we prepared something for you guys, and I hope you guys are gonna get a lot of stuff out of this. Okay, we took our sweet time and from all the knowledge that we have gathered and all the other presentations, this was a very important one because we have clients in here, and John is also a really good friend, and he teaches something that we believe very, very deeply is one of the best ways to actually get leads to contracts, which is NAPQ, obviously. And so this is going to be something that will hopefully add more deals in your in your pipeline by just applying some of these principles that we're going to go over. Okay, so I'm going to share here my screen right in here, and we're going to go over this. Okay, so you guys let me know if all of this is good. You guys hear me too?
Yep, we're good, man.
Okay. So we called it clicks to contracts, and how the top % of investors and wholesalers get 5 to 10 off market deals every single month with online ads. And he explained, we got Google, we got Facebook, we got Bing, we got Yahoo, we got Instagram. And so who are we? Okay, Taylor, you can get started.
Hey, I'm Taylor. I've been in the industry for about 15 years and done quite a number of my own deals, investing, over 100, flips, wholesale, creative, innovation, retail, everything you can think of there. And in over 100 markets, doing lead gen for investors around the country. And that's really my background. My expertise is on the marketing side, and then just kind of dabble a little bit on the investing as well.
Okay.
And yeah, the two companies there, my investing company, Good Offer, and then the lead generation company, Liberty Leads.
Yes.
Esteban.
And perfect. So if you guys ever let me know, you guys let me know whenever you get stuck or something or whatever, because sometimes I'm in the hotel, and if I have bad internet, let me know. But my name is Esteban, and just like John said, we have one of the largest marketing and advertising companies for real estate investors and wholesalers. So we've been in different communities in the space for over 5 years, working for their students, and also we've been in the space for over 6 years ourselves, with spent over $15 million in advertising, and we have managed a lot of advertising money from clients that spend $3,000 a month all the way to, $60,000 a month on just lead generation and so on. And there's some clients that I can't disclose that spend over $100,000 a month and that we are actually consultants for, and so on. So those are real estate investors and wholesalers. Now we're also part of NAPQ. I actually took my own closers to be part of NAPQ. So I understand everything. And I have two companies, Hustle Media and Remote Latinos. Remote Latinos is a placement recruitment company. And so we gave birth to Get Sellers. So right here, what the quick story about Get Sellers.io and the company that was born after Liberty Leads and Hustle Media actually combined forces, and now we're actually creating this great product for you, so you guys have access to instant leads, but also instant appointments and live transfers with motivated seller leads from search ads and online ads, and everything that has to do with online advertising, right? So this product will be launched as how you guys look at it, will be launching in a couple months. Hopefully by, if you, by then you'll be able to use it. There's also beta that we actually are letting people in because we already are selling the leads as well. But this same system that we actually did, that we have actually done, a few clients have exited their own wholesale business. So for example, Offerside, who is in the Midwest, exited their 7-figure wholesaling business, and they did it by getting leads from us. All right, they had an average deal size of $29,000, and all of them were from Facebook ads and Google ads that we were selling to them. And then they exited their wholesaling company, which is unheard of, right?
Standard operating.
That one is located in YouTube. And the same system also helps a Red Barn Home Buyers, which is a franchise. How many franchises do they currently have?
They've got about 100 franchises. They're on like the Inc. fastest growing franchise list and everything. And for all their online stuff, they work with us in our lead system.
Yes. So here's the problem that we're actually solving, guys. And with this presentation, I hope that I can actually give you guys the solution to a lot of the problems and help you increase your percentage of closing or conversion ratio, and even get you more leads, right? So there's, investors usually they struggle with inconsistency, with dead leads or no shows, with systems that have no follow-up. They lose deals to competitors, waste ad spend on unqualified traffic, and you're getting better at sales, you're getting better at NAPQ, and so on. But the truth is that sales alone will not do the trick. You need lead generation, and you need a full funnel and a full system that pre-sales the leads on you, and that the best marketing in the world should already pre-sale the company on before they ever talk to the person, right? So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get the most qualified traffic as possible, so that you can use your sales skills. All right. Now, I think you eliminated one of the slides here that I wanted to show, which was basically whenever we came together as partners, we became better, we became stronger, right? Like we have expertise from both sides, right? Like Taylor has over 15 years in advertising, and I have over 6 years in advertising. So we became just stronger, right? Now, there's two types of sellers from paid ads that actually are coming in, right? That whenever you guys run paid ads, one is a seller that needs to sell, but it's in their first stages of motivation. So these people are just getting hit or just getting some sort of struggle or some sort of hassle going on, and there's something in their lives that is causing them pain, and they start getting a desire, all right, to solve this, right? Start getting a gap. So they will require more follow-up, they'll require more nurture, and they'll require a little bit more care, but they haven't probably seen any other competitor of yours, just yet, and maybe the first time hearing about a cash buyer, but there's still leads that you can actually close. Sometimes leads don't close right away. You know that, right? And the second one is leads, seller leads that actually are in the latest stages of motivation. All right. So they're targeted based on their behavior, right? They need to sell. They're retargeted by others investors as well. They're in another level of sophistication. All right. So they are aware probably that there's some solution out there, and you need to be quick and certain and follow the sales process that you guys are actually going for, right? They're warmer and hotter than, seller type one, but they may have done a Google search and know that there's other people out there. So their level of sophistication increases. And with, so much competition, the biggest differentiators will be your sales skills, the offers that you give them, your follow-up, and overall, you as a founder of a wholesale and real estate investing business that will transfer that certainty and conviction that you will solve the problem, right? Now, sellers, before they're generated, they're in different stages of awareness. So it's called seller awareness. So there's some people that they're unaware that they have a problem, and they're unaware about anything. We don't want to deal with that, right? That's why cold calling is, takes so long, because like they literally they're sparking, you're triggering their quote unquote motivation. So they're unaware that there's a problem. Oh, maybe I'll tell, right? But what we want to focus on, and you guys want to focus on, is getting people that are most aware, okay? The most aware about their problem, about the desire of solving something. And the more that you go to the right, okay, the more competition you'll have, of course, the more sophisticated it could be, So there's different type of objections that you would have. But the more that you go to the left, then the more follow-up you need to do, right? Other type of objections that you actually need to handle. But you want to focus on getting those, right? Now, here's the entire funnels of clicks to contracts, and it's five stages of turning cold traffic that comes from all paid advertising, right? Whether you run ads on Google, whether you run ads on Facebook, whether you run ads on Bing or Yahoo or YouTube or whatever, they have to go through an entire funnel that would eventually get them into a contract. And the best one, like this works as an entire system, right? And this would get us to have the lowest cost per deal and the highest deal size possible, okay? Taylor, is there anything you want to say about this one right here?
No, I think you covered it pretty good. I think we can just dive in. What we'll do is we'll start with that top funnel of awareness, and we'll just work our way all the way down to the sale.
Yeah. So overall, this is a very simple way of seeing it. All right. So right here, I don't know if I can actually zoom in here. Maybe I'll be able to zoom in, not for those people that need to be zoomed in. Let me see. Can I zoom in? Yeah. All right, perfect. So right here, we got all the different channels that could come in, right? And this is where the level of awareness comes in, right? Like people are actually getting the clicks, people are being generated as a lead and so on. Are you there? Oh, okay, there you go. And then this is kind of the rest of what needs to happen. And in the end, obviously, well, you got the closer where the closer takes care of the sales process. But overall, this is the marketing, nurture, follow-up sales process. Okay, so it is an entire system, an entire ecosystem that you guys need to take care of and make sure that you build systems around it. Now, the first thing is, the people click, they go through a pre-qualification survey and essentially a quiz funnel where they answer a quiz. And then we verify that these are legitimate leads, right? We capture the right sellers at the right time and we put them into our platform. Okay, Taylor, so let's discuss a little bit more about this.
Yeah, like how do you know if they're legitimate or not?
So we do a couple things. I mean, obviously, it's a numbers game, right? Real estate's a numbers game. We try and give you the best numbers, the best shot at converting that lead that we can. So how we do that on the front end is a couple ways. One, like Esteban mentioned, we take them through, first of all, even before the web page, is our targeting, right? So first of all, when you're running ads, you're wanting to look for higher motivation, right? You're looking for that secret sauce, that piece where someone says, you know, sell my house in Miami. That might not be a great lead, probably retail. If someone says sell my house fast, or sell my house that's in disrepair or financial hardship or pre-foreclosure, like those people have motivation, right? So that first way that we give you a higher motivation and a better shot at closing is by targeting. And then the second phase is on the actual web page itself, right? So on that page, we are making the seller jump through some hoops. So they're having to answer some questions. You know, is your property listed on the MLS? Are you the owner of the property? Why are you looking to sell? How fast are you looking to sell? So they're jumping through these hoops before they get to that investor, right?
Yeah. And actually, we're going to share with you guys this resource right here that I'm sharing with you. It's literally the from clicks to contracts page. Okay. So this right here, essentially, we explain every single one of these stages right in here, right? So awareness is capturing the seller in the right time. And this is the top of the funnel goal, right? Like right here, we're in the top of the funnel. We're just generating the lead, right? But that generating the lead is not everything. And there's different ways to do it. Obviously, traffic from ads, traffic from search, traffic from different sources, okay? But then when you go down and start capturing them, just like Taylor is saying, we're going to be asking them specific questions that tell us basically a score of like level of motivation, level of urgency, right? Level of intent, and whether they actually do want to solve this, right? And they should be able to see either to understand how the process works by going through the landing page, and to be able to see how this actually would be a no-brainer for them. And this actually separates ourselves from the competition, right? So, obviously, one of the biggest things in advertising is knowing your avatar really well and their pain points and desires, so that you can create offers and you can create copywriting specifically that talks on those pain points and those desires, and then creating a qualification criteria, so that whenever you get people that are not absolutely not qualified, so let's say they just want to like sell in the next 12 months, they don't even go through, they get self disqualified, right? It's like self, I was going to say something inappropriate, but self deported, that they just get out, so that's exactly what how it actually works. So I'm going to share with you guys this resource. Okay, now so once the lead has been generated, there is a few things that need to actually happen in order for this to actually go very, very well. Because if the lead is generated and you still don't get a hold of the lead, or the lead doesn't trust you, is not pre-sold on you, there's still a lot of sophistication, a lot of competitors out there that may be going in and clicking on another ad or seeing other ads from other people. So you need to be able to proactively do certain things and reactively also do some things. So obviously you guys are going to be able to go through the next stage, which is the discovery stage. So we're turning these clicks and leads into actual conversations, right? So make sure that you always have a way to contact them, all right? Get on a phone with them, right? And drip them in a very simple way. That's what needs to happen. Now, if you guys leave this presentation with one nugget that you should be applying it right away, is that after the lead has been generated, you guys should start nurturing them and ultimately elevating the trust that they should have with you before they ever talk to you on the phone. Okay, now and there's a series of things that you got to do here. Basically, all of them one after the other one, because if you don't do that, then another investor is going to come in and is going to essentially, swoop in everything from you, right? So this is one of the few things that you got to do. You got to be able to create a pre-call VSL plus credibility package. And this comes in a form of it could be in a landing page that is it's essentially discusses how different you are from everyone else, right? What's in it for them? How do they know that this is real, and why they should trust you? How does this work, and what do they have to lose? And ultimately answers every single objection that they could potentially have. And if you can break it down objection by objection on multiple videos, that's even better. But they should at least have a PDF that actually goes over all of this. And if you guys need the framework for this pre-call credibility package, so you guys send it right away as soon as the lead has been generated, there's an email and text message that is actually being sent, right? Then you should do it, because this helps on indoctrination. Now, the most important thing is not going to be this, it's actually having the conversation. But this, because you would only get a hold of a certain percentage of people right away in the first time that the lead has been generated, you still need to do this, because this is part of the indoctrination process, right? They need to be indoctrinated with you. And like, we see a percentage of about 40 to 65% of leads that book an appointment right away after the lead has been generated, when this is actually implemented. Okay. Now, this is just screenshots of what we've done internally and for clients as well, right? So, for example, in the one to the right, in part of this video, he's actually going over a few objections, or frequently asked questions, and also a free some of the BBB reviews and credibility package that it has. And as you can see, for example, Synergy Home Buyers has a credibility package in their website. All right, so that's something that, and he sends it actually personally to them, because they're either scheduling a call or you haven't gotten a hold of them just yet, but they will be able to actually see it. All right. Now, so that's, and I'm going to share with you guys the resource on, how a VSL, what the VSL should potentially need to have, and the credibility package, which is, previously they actually get into a call with you, they should be able to actually see it, right? And like solve a lot of the different questions that they have. John, I saw that you actually, put something here, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I've got a VSL on my website too.
That's amazing.
Just take a look at.
Yeah, that's amazing. So another one of the biggest things here is, you guys know that great leads will die with poor follow-up skills. All right. If you guys are seeing, well, you guys are buying leads, all right? If you guys are, going to a lead provider, and you're buying online leads, or you're generating your own online leads, and then you end up having to say, these leads suck, they don't answer the phone, I don't buy leads anymore because of this reason or whatever, like, a lot of the time it's going to be because of this follow-up process. So understand this. There is over 300% higher conversions when the lead has been contacted within a minute. All right, okay? And people are not just waiting for you to actually contact them after 5 to 10 minutes. They got stuff to do, right, in their day. So it takes about 4 to 11 contact attempts to connect with a lead. All right. And this is also another piece of data talking about the VSL and credibility package. People need and usually make a decision on going with a service or a product after they have consumed at least 7 to 11 hours of content, or being with you, which is also content, for 7 to 11 hours. This is an actual data from Google and CRMs that they actually have put together this data. And the level of sophistication that right now in the online world, and people using their phones and stuff like that to solve problems, needs you to make them consume content about you and spend time with you. Okay, it's not gonna be like That's why I believe John has. You have a two-step cold close as opposed to
Yeah.
one step. Is that
Yeah.
correct?
Hmm.
So within those time frame, they should be able to get indoctrinated. Okay. But anyways, going back to the follow-up. Most investors can't even do this. Nothing. Right. So that's why you have to be able to use AI and humans to follow up with leads, connect whatever it is that is coming from advertising from different leads that are being generated from GetSellers.io, and utilize the different CRMs that exist out there. For example, CRMs like Go High Level does this really, really well. And it helps you start conversations, qualify the leads through like a chatbot, and even book appointments. All right. Do you guys, what are you guys seeing here? I saw.
Use AI humans to follow up with leads.
Okay. Yeah. That's perfect. Okay. Someone gave a comment saying that.
No, you're good.
Okay, perfect. And another thing that you should be able to add is an inside sales agent or some sort of lead manager that helps you actually booking more appointments. Okay. Now, if you're solo, if you're by yourself, this may take some time. All right. To hire someone or have a service provider that brings you ISAs or inside sales agents, or someone that will call right away after the lead has been generated, so you can perform at least 60 to 80% of live transfers or appointments directly in your calendar. But this will give you a very methodical way to guarantee you higher conversion rates. All right, because it's not about just generating the lead, but getting the lead on the phone, getting the lead to trust you, and getting the lead to ultimately get converted after going through a sales process like NAPQ. Okay. So, and just a few facts right here. If you do, the 1 minute, it will increase value, it will increase trust. And whenever you do hands-up follow-up, you leverage time, so you have time back. So there shouldn't be a reason why you're not doing it. And leads stop falling through the crack whenever you start adding these things. So, for example, we have inside sales agents internally, and they're working on the clock from Monday to Sunday, because we have made sure that we hire them to do that entire thing. You know what I mean? Like appointment booking and live transfers. So you don't need more leads. You actually need conversations with quality people, right?
Esteban, we got a question there. Somebody asked, what are live transfers?
A live transfer is whenever an appointment setter or a lead manager has spoken with the lead, done some sort of discovery or some sort of triage, and that lead is ready to essentially start a process of talking with an acquisition manager, right? The lead has the time, and then you just do a three-way call. So a live transfer would be like in the software, you do warm transfer to the acquisition manager or to you, and you get the seller right in there. So as opposed to, okay, I'm gonna book you for tomorrow or the next day or next week, and there's time within there, you actually get to talk with that seller right away. Okay, so that's a live transfer. Make sense?
Yep.
All right, no problem, Bobby. So that's why, we're huge advocates of using CRM AI systems like Go High Level. If you guys don't have one, you should get one. Like I'm telling you right now, John, I don't know if you tell them to use Go High Level, or like what is it that you guys
Usually Simply is the one I recommend. They have an AI.
Oh, they have AI now?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, Go High Level is complicated, but once you build it and you get used to it, it should be nice. Iris Simply is also great. I know the owner really cares about you. But I think those are the top two in this space, to be honest, Yeah. All right. So here's a few examples. We got a deal after, doing an automated SMS. Our client couldn't really get into the call right away because he was busy, but the automation, made sure it happened. And then he got into one of the ICs got into a call real quick, and then figured out that he was, had underlying situations going on behind taxes, got a deal after that. And then there is another one where the drip actually did after 17 touch. Okay. The lead responded saying that they had lost their phone and they're in a severe situation. And then it was a motivated and distressed lead. And if it was not because of automated systems like this, that lead could have, essentially been deemed as dead, right? Want to go over this, Mister?
Yeah, that'd be great. So now we're moving into evaluation, right? So this is we've had the appointment set. Now we're doing that appointment step. And so a big thing on the appointments is we're trying to, like Esteban mentioned before, leading up to that, we want to increase our show rate of that appointment, right? So making sure that we have those things in place. We're texting, emailing that credibility information to reassure them and just resell them and pre-sell them on that time they're going to spend with you, right? And then also one thing I like to do on that as well is even if you get the lead from cold call or somewhere else, is to make sure you grab their email address so that you can actually send them a calendar invite, right? So it goes to their phone, to either Google or Apple, and then that way it pops on their calendar. And so that dramatically increases your show rate, right, when you get to this step. And then also leading up to that, if you're in person or virtual, definitely recommend having a thing go out here like this on the screen, just a little heads up reminder with your picture and just kind of like a little virtual business card, right? So that helps put a face to the appointment and really kind of brings that trust level up a notch when you personalize it with your face on there. Maybe you can throw it in AI. I think Esteban did a few AI versions of me on here. So yeah, if you need to, like me, you can get some help.
And guys, go for it. Are you done?
I think one last thing I would say is on the appointment setting on this step, sooner the better, right? The more, like if they're like, hey, I'm available in 2 weeks, always try and push for like 1 or 2 days out. If on that stay, sooner the better for timing on that. And also just setting expectations. I think giving them a heads up, like, hey, here's what the next couple steps in the process look like. And then also after the appointment, making sure you have those those steps in place to follow up with them after that. Yes. All right, Esteban, go ahead.
So there's one huge thing about having appointments done, guys. And I'm not sure here how many people actually measure appointments, but I believe John talks about this a lot, because here's the thing. Whenever you measure appointments, that means that you're getting higher intent, more qualified leads, right? So if you measure more appointments, there is higher likelihood that you will close more, right? And if your lead to appointment ratio is high, it means that you are having more qualified leads as well. Okay, so you could always judge marketing by how many appointments are being done, right? And you can always judge like how well the systems are set up after the lead has been clicked on your ad and generated as a lead, by how many appointments you have and the show ratio. So one thing I like doing is to actually measure appointments, and it is the closest thing to a marketing qualified lead. For the appointment, and I forgot to cover this, but this is the resource, there should be a 5-day ballistic indoctrination funnel where you essentially are shooting them content about you, and it should be both SMS and email about your company. So for instance, yes, we do have that credibility package where we send them day one and so on, but also seller case studies. Like, they should know that you have helped other people. The how it works process, any objection crusher again, and then ultimately a strong call to action to actually book a call. Okay, and that way, from the leads that we don't get a hold of and that we ultimately are having more trouble or need more follow-up, they should be able to have that. And then one thing we like to do is that after these 5 days, actually we make it 10 days actually, but after these 5 days, you should have a more long-term nurture as well. Okay, now whenever you book appointment, make sure that you always have, like Taylor said, a appointment reminder system, right? And a way to elevate trust by nurturing them. Again, either videos with the breakdowns of what to expect, objection busters, testimonials, FAQs, and so on. And then ultimately a good appointment reminding system so they don't forget. Okay. And they actually show up to this phone call or to this, appointment and so on. One huge thing that we like doing is personal, customized, personalized messages. We like using iMessage, right, to actually confirm appointment and build some trust before this. If your appointment setter, lead manager, or ISA has contacted them and they have iMessage too, then make sure that they also do a three-way. All right, that's a good, it's a good way to actually do some good level of trust and increase the conviction of the seller. Three-way with them, and you can actually send a video selfie to from the acquisition guy or something like that. Okay. So personalization actually works a lot and increases show rate, and which means it increases conversion rate. Okay. Now, let's go back to this right here. The next one, intent. You want to go about this, Mr. Taylor?
Let's go. Yep. So I think we have the appointment. We move forward to that next step is the offer. We won't dive into too much on the sales side of it. With the NEPQ stuff, you guys are already, John's the pro on that. But we'll touch on some things that we see that work really good. Some more of the technical stuff. One thing is, not every appointment is going to turn into a sale right away, obviously. So keeping good notes, like doing a report afterwards, kind of looking at, okay, what's this after action report that I can assess of, like, okay, why didn't that close on the spot? And what are those objections they still have? And just really analyzing that and then working that into your follow-up sequence. Also having contracts ready to go, like obviously if you're in person or online, either way, having those contracts ready to go on DocuSign or whatever system you're using. Also multiple options, right? Don't just come in looking, hey, we're just going to do a wholesale and have that one thing mapped out. Have multiple strategies so you can pivot on the spot, and so you come across as that professional, right? That industry professional. And then also just sending offers, right? I've sent out offers even when I thought that the seller had totally shut it down, and I send out an offer and it's just like sitting there in their inbox. Like I do this myself, on my email, I have something, mark it as unread or a reminder on it, and it's just like sitting there flashing. And then eventually they logged in and they clicked to sign, and a month later I just randomly get this signed contract, right? So those are some things that are small but can add up to increase that closing ratio.
Yeah, and another thing to add here is that sometimes people need a push, and this is a lot related to sales and marketing. Marketing is basically sales in words and graphics, right? So one of the few things that we like doing is whenever we have a prospect that is like right there, we know that this is a good offer, we know that this is someone that is right there ready to make a decision, but it needs a little bit of a push. We send them, case studies. We send them the testimonials. Every time that we get a case study and testimonial from a seller, then we send it to them. Like, oh, here, I just uploaded this in my YouTube channel. Look at this. This is a seller that actually went through a very similar situation that you did. You know what I mean? And obviously we use those in our credibility package. We put that in the credibility package so that you actually have a higher conversion on the lead. All right.
Yeah. And one question we had is like, how do you get those contracts ready? So that depends on what, signing system you're using. If you're doing things virtual on a platform like, DocuSign or Go High Level or whatever you're using, having like a template and kind of having those, you'll probably have one direction you're planning on taking that sales process, right? Whether that's a wholesale or novation or whatever that is. I would just have that ready to go. Ideally you walk through them with them on the phone to go through and click to sign while you're talking to them, right? That way you can answer any objections they have, and you don't just let them read through that contract themselves, because who knows, what their take is going to be on each section, right? So that's what I would say, Esteban, on that. For you, Brian.
Yeah, and then the next thing is obviously use your NAPQ skills that you guys are learning and actually putting together to actually get it, get it converted into a contract, right? Like it is not rocket science what you guys have to do, but if you guys follow a system and a predictable skills that you guys are actually able to acquire here, and with the right leads, and then you understand marketing in a deeper level, you'll be able to actually increase your conversion, right? And marketing is not just like, again, it's not just generating a lead, but it's generating the lead in the right way, generating the proper lead, and knowing what to do after the lead has been generated, even if you haven't spoken with them. Okay, so there's a few mistakes that people get, they do before, whenever they get leads on the contract. They lack the technology, or they lack use of AI, right? They lack use of the CRMs, right, properly. They don't do it. So for example, I use ChatGPT even to, figure it out a way how to respond to a specific lead. And it has been trained on NAPQ, right? That has been trained on John Land or, Jeremy Miner. But also we have that AI be trained on how to talk on NAPQ wise, right? And the CRM, how to talk and respond to these people, and ultimately go for the appointment. Bad speed to lead follow up. They don't have an amazing client experience. They avoid having real connection with the seller. Like, I kid you not, I've had clients where, and I had to actually be straightforward with them, where a lead has been generated and the seller was like this. Yeah, I just had my heart stop for the second time. I'm here in the hospital bed, and I just saw your ad, and I just wanted to see what's going on, and how you can help me. And he's like, "So how old is your roof?" That is like, if you don't have this level of emotional intelligence to understand it, like literally sales, it's gonna be so hard for you, or like almost impossible. You know what I mean? Addressing objections and concerns, following a structured sales process like NAPQ, bad at persisting with lead nurturing, leveraging social proof and third-party stories in your credibility package, in your marketing, in your follow-up, nurture, in your sales process, right? And failing to track and measure KPIs, okay? Now, I don't know how long we have here, because there's some more that we could go over, but I'll leave it open for questions right now, because there is some good stuff that I could, continue share. But I leave it open for questions.
What would you tell people that are trying to debate to go like PPC or straight to Facebook? And like, how do you decide, hey, I want to do PPL and just do the like pay-per-click, Bing search and all that stuff, versus, hey, I want to do Facebook ads?
This is a really interesting question. I was just in a podcast with Austin Zabek, and he asked me that same question. And look, I'm going to start it by saying this. I have a friend that runs over he manages over $100,000 in advertising every single day. Okay. And he runs Facebook, Instagram, and Google, right? Meta and Google. And he showed me, and he blew my mind, that one of the biggest differences between these two, it's very similar ROI, okay? Very similar cost per deal, but the biggest difference is the cash conversion cycle, like the length that it takes to actually get money back into your account. And with Google, it could take 45 to 60 days, all right? And with Facebook, it could take about 60 to 95 days, right? And that depends obviously on the deal and the way that you actually move deals and so on, the exit strategies and stuff like that. But I would say one of the biggest differences is, one, Google takes longer to actually optimize and start getting results. If you're not gonna stay with Google for 6 months and spend over $5,000 to $6,000 at minimum on advertising every single month with Google, don't do Google. Like, and this is for majority of the nation. All right, some other places in the nation is more expensive, and you should be able to. You need to spend more because cost per deal is 4,500 to $6,000 and so on. But with Facebook, you can get started and you can get results much quicker. You can literally optimize to get appointments within 24 to 48 hours after the campaign has started, and the cost per lead is also cheaper. But then again, your cash conversion cycle, right? It's longer, which also happens to affect your lead to deal ratio, right? Like your lead to contract ratio, your lead to deal ratio. But if you have the big four, right, which is the right exit strategies and offers for sellers, the right skills for sales skills, the follow-up, reactivation, and nurture systems, and a good mindset, there shouldn't be a reason why you should not do Facebook. Facebook is a great marketing channel. Now, there's one thing that could happen is that Facebook could potentially is not as scalable as Google. With Google, you can go in hard and like go to one main market and go deep and like pay a lot of money and then outspend a lot of your competitors and so on, while optimizing through time. And there will be less diminishing returns than Facebook. And Facebook could start crippling after you start spending $5,000 to $10,000 a month. All right, start crippling in terms of the cost and start clipping in terms of the actual effectiveness of it. So it depends on the market where you're going to be. The best answer for that, it was very long-winded, by the way, but it's Google is the best, and you tie down with Facebook ads, it makes an incredible machine. Okay.
Yeah, like doing retargeting.
Yes, 100%.
Hitting all of your Google ads, doing retargeting on Facebook, things like that. How do people get? You said you're in demo stage with GetSellers.io.
We already have a product. GetSellers.io already sells leads. It's just a very ugly platform, super ugly. Okay.
How would they get access to that? Because I know there aren't any PPL channels that are selling exclusively search leads right now. You guys will be the first one, which is why I wanted you guys to come talk to the group too. Is like, guys, PPC leads. That's what I do. PPC and a little bit of YouTube, but primarily PPC. They're the highest intent. So if you guys look at that funnel, that awareness funnel, there is nobody that's more aware than typing in the search bar, "How do I sell my house fast?" They already have that level of awareness, right? Whereas like Facebook might be an interruption ad. So I really swear by PPC, but there are not any PPL companies that are providing them, which means you have to go ramp up your own budget, do all of your own testing, probably spend $30,000-$40,000 testing PPC before you can like really break into it. But Esteban has a program where you can just buy them. Like they've already done all that stuff. They've already basically spent all their money testing and making the mistakes. How would they get access to that?
Yeah. Taylor, I guess it would be by going to getsellers.io/book a
call. Pull up that last slide real quick, Esteban.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just pull it up right here.
Yeah. So we like John was saying, we're in over 100 markets right now, with investors doing leads. So definitely been doing this system for over 5 years. But what we're rolling out is just a new fancy front end with like you see on the screen here.
Okay, so, gotcha.
Yeah, there's the link at the bottom, and then there's just a little spot how you connected with us. So just select John on there, and we'll make sure to reach out to you and can show you more in depth.
Yeah. So just to give you guys a little bit of a brief, we already have in NAPQ a few people that we really work with, and one of them is actually Watson Thane. Who here knows Watson? Like, I'd love to know who Watson is.
He's a savage.
He's a savage. I love him. And I brought him in Miami because he keeps closing deals, right? But when Watson came to us, he's just closing some deals, one and off, one here and there, and so on. But obviously, needed more predictability. And we have a great episode right in there. So we decided to implement our high intent funnel that ultimately helps him with all these leads. And he also needed some help with the CRM and follow up systems. So we also did that for him and so on. So he ended up getting, for example, a lead. Lead came in, got contracted within an hour. Now he's a savage, obviously, and whenever you deal with partners like us that actually care a lot, then you end up getting this type of results. So that one lead was $12,000, 500, but at the end, he ended up having even more bigger deals, $45,000 in a service fee and so on. Until the point where now he's doing deals every single month, where he was just before he didn't have a predictable way of getting leads. So one example, in his first 3 months of like starting things out before he ramped up even more, he got 4 deals and about $88,000 in cash. So that's why we decided to build this to give you guys more flexibility about buying the leads and having a proper way to manage that part and so on, and then connect it with your CRM, get some consulting on on the follow-up process and so on, so that you guys can actually have a better way to convert this lead while doing NFP2. Okay, and I think that would be the best combination.
All right. Anybody else have any questions? You guys drop a fire emoji in the chat for Mr. Esteban and Mr. Taylor. I appreciate you guys coming on and teaching them about Facebook. So I will, you guys are going to share those resources, right?
Yes.
Okay. Cause I know a lot of people are going to want to watch the recording. It doesn't look like everybody was able to make it on for this time, but we've got like 260 people that are going to watch the recording as well. Can I give them some of those resources so they can go back, they can look through them? They'll be able to book with like Hustle Media if they want Facebook, or GetSellers.io.
125%. Yes, sir.
125%. I love it. All right. Tons of fire emojis in the group. Is this good for newbies or best for high experience only? I don't know how to answer that. Esteban, what would you say?
Man, I think look, okay, let me this is a good thing for mathematics. All right. Let me go back to math. Okay. All right. So one of the biggest things that you gotta understand is what's gonna be the KPI that you're gonna be fine with, and that you should be able to actually aim for. Because here's the thing: the most important thing right here is your CAC, or cost per deal. All right. Like, if you're not willing to spend the money to acquire the one deal, that is going to get you the $20,000, $25,000, revenue in return, and then it's going to give you the profits, then like you're always going to be chasing your tail. Like, if you're not willing to actually spend the money. So there's many ways to leverage other people's money, right? Credit card and other, funding partner, or like, the savings, or like getting the deal profits and actually reinvesting it back. But at the end of the day, it's all money math. Okay. So if you are, for example, right here, this is one example. If you are spending cost per lead $150, right? And let's say that's in a market that is $150 cost per lead. And then you are aiming to have $100,000 on that month. Okay. That means that you need to have an average deals. You need to have 7 deals at an average deal size of $15,000. Okay. And let's just say in that market, your contract to close ratio is like 70%, or it could be 60%. It could be 80%. It could be within that. Right. So that means that you need to lock up 10 deals in order to get 7. But that means that one deal, in this case, for example, at that spend of, let's say, $2,600, will get you $15,000 back. So you need to be able to actually know this type of numbers, right? And the same thing applies for if it was like $20,000 deal size. So how many deals you need to do that? Like 5, all right, at that specific cost per lead. Now, some markets are, more expensive. So the money math on just one inbound deal, for example, if let's say, for example, is specifically you got it for $3,000 and you have a $15,000 sales revenue, then you got a profit of $12,000, but $3,000 generated you essentially profit of $12,000. You know what I mean? And then, so you have to be able to calculate that. And we actually have a calculator that helps us understand in the long term, like how this is going to play out. As this example right here, for example, let's say average lead cost is down, right? And let's say you're generated by yourself, but like, well, it's going to be higher. But let's say that one is the average lead cost, and then you are 1 out of 20 leads to a deal. That's a 5% conversion ratio. 5% lifetime conversion ratio. Let's say you do get really good at follow-up, and so the compound conversion is you're adding 0.5% because you're really good at follow-up, nurturing, and so on. Maybe you do get lucky in the short-term conversion, so it adds, essentially in the first 3 months you can close something, get cash back. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to get cash back in the first 2 to 3 months because of cash conversion cycle. Cash conversion cycle could tend to be like, 45 to 95 days. So it just depends. So your overall conversion ratio would be like 6%, let's just say. So every month, the first 2 months, you're going to be losing money. All right, most likely. Yeah, even the third one. And then after that, once you start spending more money, and then leads are accumulated and you maintain the same lead to deal ratio, you'll start getting some total net positive over time until you realize that, well, over a year, I've actually made money. All right. Over, 8 months, I've net accumulative spending $3,000 at $260,000 that year. Let's just say, for example. If we maintain these metrics consistent, assignment fee at $15,000 and so on. So is it for newbies? If you don't understand math, no. If you understand math, if you understand math and you're willing to actually spend the money and get better at the skill sets, go for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a budget thing at the end of the day.
Yes.
So one last thing before we hop off, I know we've got about 3 minutes left. So Esteban and Taylor are going to be sponsoring our next Boiler Room event. If you guys remember the last one, so they're going to be hooking us up with 20 hot inbound leads, search leads, right? You guys are there going to be a mix of search and Facebook?
Yes.
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. So you guys are going to get to taste them yourselves. So we put the rules to be able to get leads inside of the school community. They're going to be able to sponsor that. And then after this, we are going to upload this call into the school community with a link where you guys can talk to Esteban and Taylor about get sellers, or if you want to talk about hustle media because you want them to book your appointments for you. We're going to be showing you guys exactly how to do that, plus all of the big resources. So you guys give a shout out to Esteban and Taylor. They just dropped a Google Doc, and then we will have all of this recorded for you guys. Esteban, Taylor, I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Looking forward to letting you know how many contracts we locked up with your leads.
All right.
Thanks, John. Thanks, everybody.
All right, guys. You guys go crush it. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.